I'm not okay.
Dude's been ever since you came to the studio. You've been eating more than usual.
I think I'm sick.
You've been championing like getting Red Bull in your system where you usually don't.
Bruh.
Can I have one? Can I have one?
Of course you can. Of course you can.
You're wearing a hoodie, similar to like when you break up with someone and you don't care about how you look, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna get some cookies.
Oh my god.
And play some white people soul.
Oh, that was
in the background.
He's gonna eat his emotions.
And eat his emotions.
Yeah.
And watch Walk to Remember.
I do actually. I think I'm sick. I think I'm feeling a little bit sick, but I do eat junk food more than I'm sick. So
you're good. You're just feeling sick, and then
I don't know.
I want to just give a little head check on you, like everything okay in the brain. Like the mind's good, because we want the fun facts to be hitting tonight.
Oh, they'll be hitting, man.
Right. We want
Red Bull will make sure of that for sure.
We want the Don of Dons to be on his level tonight.
Denise brought us some cookies as well, so
shout out to my sister. She's in the background. She wants to learn to follow in the family business and continue the podcast going.
Is it recording?
We all recording. Yeah. I'll just make sure to our assistant. Are we recording? Yep, and we are recording. So
Producer Denise, thank you.
Producer Denise, running in the family, going to be podcasting with her side. So check that out in the future. We'll promote it sometime in the future.
You got big shoes to fill, mate.
Yeah, man. Size 9s. In case people out there want to send me gifts for shoes. Hey, man, I love your podcast so much. I'll send you some shoes.
We need.
Isn't that the thing that Siggy was saying last week?
Yeah.
They do a stencil on a piece of paper.
Oh, bro, that's it. I forgot that was a thing where you would send a stencil of your foot to the Philippines to send you something.
Oh, the other way around.
The other way around, yeah. Bro. This is some crazy shit.
The buy inbox, right? They trace the shoe on a piece of paper.
Yeah, you put your foot on a piece of paper, trace around it with a pen.
Yep.
And then fold that up, put it in someone's pocket that's going overseas.
Yeah.
You know, I'd take it to the next level. I'd trace my whole body.
Yeah.
Roll it up. And then send it through, so they can choose. Like if they want to give me a shirt,
you know what it is.
I'll send the size of my neck so they can give me the right size for my pantalon.
You know what it is though. You just send a pair of pants that you've already measured your neck on. So it's like a pair of shorts, and then you send it across.
I'm not going to send dirty pants. It's going to be in quarantine and shit. It's not going to make border security.
Australian Customs will stop it. This is radioactive, this one.
I want some new underwear. What do I what do I trace?
Your forehead.
Some fruit of the loom.
No, you trace your neck with the Adam's apple part. Because it has that little bump.
You got to double it.
For the blessed people out there, yes, you may have to double it.
My dad would every time he'd go to the Philippines, he'd come back
with undies, right?
His pasalubong was the undies. He just always undies.
What, like tidy whities, fruit of the loom brand?
Yeah, those ones.
But it's like,
and I don't wear those
because the sizes in the Philippines are not the sizes in Australia, right? Like they're like tighter.
No.
Like a large is not a large. It's like a small there or something like that. And
yeah.
If you get undies that are...
I usually wear a medium. And then like...
Shout outs to people out there who wants to send Don doing stuff, some undies.
Send me some undies. I wear the boxer type undies, so if you want. Send me those. I usually wear a medium, but from the Philippines it's like large or extra large.
Hey man, yeah, it's always large in the Philippines, right?
It's more large in the Philippines. I almost choked on my cookie.
Well, yeah, as long as Don's okay, you all good.
Yeah, I'll be right.
You're all good. And I know this guy's okay.
Do you guys know, are you familiar with this box? I know Don mentioned like every time we go to Philippines, we come back with a bunch of underwear, right? Fruit of the loom, but for the girls, it's a box of, it's a yellow box, it's called Soen.
It's
the punty. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because it's so, like way cheaper over there. But if I was working in customs, I reckon every Filipino family is coming back from Philippines got one of those boxes in their like
probably. I don't know. Let's ask the only female in the room.
Yeah. Yes.
She knows.
The one with the flowers. Yeah.
You know the box.
My dad would always bring home whatever you can get from the department store in the Philippines. And so it would be Puritan undies or the bench undies, like anything that's...
Bench was a thing, bro.
Yeah, dude.
rich guy over here.
Bro. Baby bench, bro. Oh.
It started as Puritan, which was the no frills brand or whatever it was, and then eventually it was like bench.
I always had Fruit of the Loom. And it felt like it was so bad. It was tidy whities, bro. It felt so weird having those.
Are we starting this podcast with just underwear?
Yeah.
I think we are.
All right. All right. So my sister's here. This is our lessons in podcasting. Start off with something that'll hit.
Let's talk about undies.
You can tell when a podcast has been doing this for too long. Just running out of things to
It's
say.
about relatability.
Yeah, that's it.
But then here's the thing. So I wear the boy shorts type of undies because I don't wear the tidy
Because
ones.
you don't wear the girl ones.
Because I don't wear the girl ones. No, I'm just kidding.
Sexist.
I won't make those jokes. Do you guys wear boxers or briefs? That's usually the.
All right. Since we're connecting and engaging with the audience,
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone. I wear the one with the long shorts, the short. What are they called? Short boxes.
I always
Because
thought they
boxes, I'm thinking like the silky ones.
I always thought they were called boy shorts. Like that's what they're called. I'm looking at Denise. Are they called boy shorts? Those boxers. Yeah, for women. But like boxers is the one that's looser.
Yeah. Okay, mine's the tight ones. What's the?
Mine's the tight ones.
Yeah.
Tight ones that go up to here. They're like shorts, but they're tight.
Yeah, let's call them undie shorts, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever those are called.
Salawal.
But if I'm
Salawat.
feeling good about my body, I wear the Speedo looking ones.
But if I'm feeling good, I'm not wearing undies, bro.
I'm wearing the Brit. No, bro, that's danger, bro.
Free balling, man.
Bro, you're just gonna free balling with jeans, bro. It's just a battle between you and the zipper, bro. It's not good, man.
I never really wear jeans.
Bro.
This is why I can't have rips in my jeans, just in case.
Just in case it just pokes out. It's like when you go to Galaxy World and then the mole that pops out the hole.
Fuck it up.
Someone's gonna feel it.
On your jeans.
Whack-a-mole. Hui, toy, boom, boom.
Oh man,
You got a hammer for some reason.
Fucking hell.
I know Gussie is feeling good because he was playing his white playlist,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying it as in it's a bad thing, but
Caucasian soul.
his white playlist is on point.
Yeah, man. Richard Marx was one of them.
98 degrees.
Hey. What else do we have? Alan Stone.
Mandy Moore.
Yeah.
And you had all the boy bands in there, bro. Like,
I don't know, man. I'm that kid, dude. Like, grew up in that time, man. It was I think that's the thing when people always say,
Simulation,
like, hey,
nothing. Don't worry.
I don't know, like when people say, the music today just isn't the same or whatever, but it's all relative, dude. Like, I listen to 98 Degrees and Boyz II Men and all that stuff. I know they're not white, but they're still, it seems good. But the times that I fell in love with those music was like a very, I don't know,
Like,
it was a good time in my life. You know what I mean?
You know the band Wet Wet Wet?
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I feel
song?
it in my
Oh, is that
fingers.
them?
It was Ronan Keating
I
was in it.
feel it. Is he in that band?
And Robbie
That's Boyzone.
That's not, that's
Boyzone?
That's Boyzone.
not
Wet Wet
Wet.
Wet is the other. I know they sung that song because that was
Robbie-
my shit when I was a kid.
What's his name? Robbie Williams?
Yeah.
Well, Robbie Williams was in Take That,
There you go.
and
Ronan
Ronan Keating was
within-
in Boyzone.
Oh, yeah, it was.
There you
was.
go.
Yeah, see?
And
Wow,
then
fun
they
facts.
broke apart
Fun facts.
and stuff. Yeah. Again, see?
I was gonna say Boyz II Men aren't white,
No.
but they don't scare white people.
No. I think it's because the songs are very, like, country. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Like, we've gone over this. A lot of R&B songs come from that country kind of vibe. So their church, what do you call them? The barbershop quartet kind of singers. They're not threatening.
Yeah, non-threatening. We talked about this before. People that we thought weren't white in R&B,
They were threatening.
like Bobby Caldwell
Yeah.
from like what You Won't Do for Love. For the longest time, I thought he was African American.
This is going to be on my Cheatcoders stash. I know there's a lot of listeners here that are strong in faith, right? And I come across Christian music again. And
When did you do music?
no. Like, I just like listened to it
Joking,
again.
bro.
Yeah. But
Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome, son. I'll get you your underwear real soon.
Thanks, Dad.
Happy Father's Day, by the way, to people in American fields.
Bro, I've been getting a lot of messages saying Happy Father's Day. I'm like, I'm just taking it because, like,
it's not Father's Day.
It's not Father's Day.
Yeah.
But, you know, thank you.
It's not Father's Day for us yet. For Garcia and I. Yet. But yeah, what were you saying, bro? You're saying Christian music?
Yeah. Lost my train of thought.
You showed me a song yesterday that sounded like
that's it.
Chance the Rapper.
That I thought, like when I first heard it, I thought that he was a black dude. It turns out it was a white boy. He doesn't even look like he does music at all.
Yeah.
But it sounds so sick. It sounds like Chance. And it's gospel, bro.
Yeah.
You know? So
Bro,
it's
the Christian music now, gospel music now, is pretty ill.
yeah.
There's, I don't know, I think I heard one that was sounding like trap and stuff. I was like, bro, I was like, shit.
Like Roadman kind of.
Yeah. God man type of thing, you know, like.
God, man.
God, man. Calling you bruv.
Yeah, bro.
Jesus died for our bare sins, bruv.
Fucking hell.
Man's not blessed.
Man's not blessed.
Hey, man.
Man's, bro.
Hey, man, them.
Fucking hell. This is the Lictas points.
Yeah, exactly.
Floating
We really
away.
lost lots, bro.
Hey, man, them. Man, them's blessed.
All right, let's start the show.
Let's do it.
Yo. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph. This is episode number 235.
235.
And I'm here with my usual suspects of Mr. We're going to lift his spirits up. Lift it up. Lift his spirits up to the Lord. I don't know. Kind of
It's very gospel. Like
lift his
today,
spirits up to the Lord.
Hey, man, them.
Hey. And best thing about church, random sidetrack. But when I went to church, I was always looking at the numbers at the back where they tell you which number of the song we're going to be singing today.
Yeah.
And I look forward to like picking out. I'm like, this is gonna be a good hour because we're gonna be singing these songs.
We're gonna be singing hymn 49 today.
The playlist of the the playlist of the hymns.
Like, oh shit, they got bangers today.
It decides if I'm gonna have a good time at the church.
Hymn 17.
Ooh,
The remix.
bit bold, huh? Very good.
What's
I'm
doing, by the
excited,
way? What's
man.
doing?
Yeah, bro. And always the DJ is the guy on the projector.
That was my job, man. With the lyrics.
Like, I know those fingers. It's Christian today.
There'd be the times when they'd put it on there and then it'd be upside down and then they'd quickly have to put it back.
Oh no, that's some amateur move, man. I knew what I was doing, bro.
And there's be like stains and stuff like that's on the page.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like this random dot that just goes up the screen.
So for context, before we had
Screens, just
screens
plain screens.
and
Yeah,
like
they got TVs
digital
now.
projectors, we had a thing called a overhead projector where you would take a transparency and stick it on this thing. It would shine a light up and shine into a mirror and it would just project onto a wall.
Basically shadows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing about it gave people jobs because someone had to move that shit.
That was
And then change the page.
I was so introverted at that time that when they asked me to do that job, it brought me out of my shell, man. That was one of those moments.
DJ Wild Thought.
You're actually lifting up the lyrics.
Oh, dude.
Lifting up
And
the
it lifted
lyrics
me
to
up
the
too.
to the Lord. We have done doing stuff.
What's doing?
And to my right is Mr. Beige Hat. Mr. Put that playlist.
235.
Ooh, we're playing 235 today? Oh,
Hymn 235. Ooh.
We have Mr. Garcia, Mr. Wild Thought.
That's
right. Mr. I'll take you out to Korean barbecue if you come to Australia.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
Calm down.
Shout out to Michael.
Just make sure you're not a crazy person. You know, we need to keep
Even if you were, I'll
podcasting,
probably
bro.
just leave you there.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, man. So where do you want to start? Where do you want to begin? Where we're going to lift our spirits
We could
up?
get-
To
we-
the Lord.
We can keep talking about church. It's funny, like, because I found that because I'd gone back to church again recently for my nephew's, my godson's confirmation. And
What do you mean go back? Did you leave the church?
I haven't been there haven't been there in a while.
You're
I'm
a
going
sinner,
going
bro.
back
to
Plumpton,
Simba.
Plumpton.
to Simba. And I was surprised. Like when I put my hand in the holy water, I didn't burst into flames. So that's good. I might still have some Lictus points left over.
All the statues that had their hands together, they started clapping. Welcome back.
Welcome
Don.
back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And the same things still, like, because growing up as a Roman Catholic, the same things happen. Like you dip your hand in the font and you do the sign of the cross, and then before you get to your chair, then you kneel and you do the sign of the cross again, and all of those things were just deeply ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, it's muscle memory.
And it reminded me of when I first went to church and had no idea what I was doing, and just like what Garcia was saying, like when there was something to do, it was like that. Now you feel like you're part of it. You're not just like sitting around doing nothing.
Wait, what's the thing to do?
He wanted to be like,
because
the
I was
guy ringing the bell, bringing in the wine.
the altar boys.
Altar boys. That's right.
I was for a bit, but then I was in the choir. I was in the choir at church. Like
just you walked in there and then they go, "Hey, Don."
No, because for school, because they knew that I could sing or I wanted to sing and whatever, they put me in a choir, and we would sing for the masses, and we'd sing for whatever.
Yeah.
And then eventually I found myself singing for the local church choir.
But when you came back, did they get you to jump on the choir again?
No, it just felt comfortable. It just felt like familiar, you know what I mean? But I think because I was part of something, I was doing something there.
You're not as bored.
Yeah, basically.
Because you know what? He did everything there, so he was able to judge how they did it.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, that key was a bit off. I would have sung to the Lord on key.
Bro, I judged the overhead projector dude, man.
They got the
crap,
They
bro.
do it now, so they've got now at the.
It's like a PowerPoint.
Yeah, it's a PowerPoint.
They just plug in the magic mic and the karaoke screen.
If the slides are out of order, they'll like flick through really, really quickly to find the right
Can you
one.
imagine?
Also, sound still has a job.
Yeah,
that's
someone's
good.
still doing
Bro,
it.
you get to a church, it's like a Filipino mass,
Yeah.
and the only way you realize it's a Philo mass is the lyrics is like a karaoke.
It goes 3, 2, 1, and the blue text goes across the thing.
Response in 3, 2.
2, 1.
It's got blue highlights and the pink highlights to gender it.
And right after the song goes dun, 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 everyone, even the priest is looking at the screen like
100, 100,
we
100.
gotta do a better job, guys.
Imagine that, bro. Because like it's a tough thing to sing in church, right? Like trying to get people to get involved. Maybe that might help. But like judging them at the same time, like give them an incentive. It's like, hey boys, let's get 100 on the next song, bro. Let's get 100, bro.
I've seen like, because the priests don't necessarily know all the songs. I think they know some of them if they've been there for a while.
Yeah.
But if they don't know it, they'll kind of just mime the words. I've seen a priest that'll be like
lip syncing.
Yeah, like "Shine, Jesus, shine," and whatever. It'll be one of those things, and the priest is just like, "Shine."
Oh, but they can't get away with it because they're lapelled up.
Yeah, they've got a mic and everything.
They got a mic
right?
and everything.
You got a road mic.
No, he just pretends to be busy. He's like, I'm too busy to sing, guys. He's just moving the cup of wine.
There's always something he's got to fold. Like whether it's like it looks like the towels on the
bro. The boss move, bro. Like, if I were to be a priest, I would enjoy doing this boss move. Is the part where I think it's like in between parts where like you get the bread and then everyone's just watching him.
Yeah.
Like just chop it all up.
Yeah, pulling it apart.
Pulling it apart and then giving it to himself. And then there's a point where he just does nothing. And then he just walks to his chair, sits down. And everyone's just watching him.
Just contemplating.
And then he stands up. And that's when everyone stands
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, oh, bro, this guy's controlling a crowd, bro.
It's mad crowd control.
I was like, oh,
It's so quiet too.
It's
in
quiet,
that
eh?
part, yeah.
Everyone's just like this.
Now they've got.
It's like,
Oh shit, he's standing up.
oh, stand up.
We can stand up now.
He's dead quiet, bro.
I used to have, because I had this wild imagination when I was younger. I used to think I had this superpower that I could control the speed of time in church.
In church.
What'd you do, sleep?
No,
That's
I
the
just spend
highest
time,
ability.
bro.
I mean, sleep is a form of time travel for sure. But like I would do this thing where, and I don't know where I must have been 5 or 6 years old or something. Whenever I would clasp my hands really tightly together, it just seemed like the priest was speaking faster. Like he'd start saying the prayers or whatever really, really fast, and then I'd let my hands go, and then he'd like slow down.
He sounds like Twister.
Yeah.
Dude found a 2x speed.
Yeah.
In mass. I love it.
You know that movie Click? Tried to fast forward the priest.
And I think because I was young, it kept me occupied for that time, that I was just like, I found something, and I'm like concentrating really hard just to make him talk faster. I'm like, is it 7 o'clock yet? Come on.
I'm busy trying to figure out if my friends are in the church. Just looking around. And then the bread part, when everyone lines up for the bread.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My
This is
Just
kind
one of
of
these, just one of these.
this is kind of messed up. Like in my later years, like my later teens, I'd go to the church with my family, right? But I never really, wanted to participate. Like I'd be outside, just outside the door where there's still a crowd. And then, like, just to show my parents that I am like still paying attention or whatever, I'll join for the communion part and then make sure that they see me, like just like look at them, give them the nod and stuff. And then I'll walk straight back outside, bro, like hanging out with my friends and stuff.
I remember there was shout outs to Father Jared, or was it? I can't remember. One of the priests. We're all hanging outside, and then he was like, he walks out and he sees us and he goes, "He's in his gallery."
Yeah.
I was like, "Whoa!"
Called you out, bro.
Like, we're just hanging out outside. We're like, "Damn, Father, damn."
Hey, man, that's real, bro.
He was a savage, man.
It's real shit, bro.
Like Garcia and I were, I guess, kind of part of the church because Garcia's dad was in the church choir. And my mum made me do the readings at church. So
That was the start of your podcast career.
that was pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And
He was like 2, 3, 5.
That's
a reading from
Everyone flips to that.
a reading from Matthew 2, 3, 5.
Yeah.
2, 3, 5.
A reading from John 3:16.
Promo code Jesus is good.
Jesus is good.
God is well everywhere.
Use the promo code Jesus20 for 20% off.
20% off your next prayer.
20% off your next mass.
Yeah.
Oh, I would like that.
And then
A fifth of the mass, like cut out. That's good.
Get a discount on your next confession.
my mum
licked us points.
points. My mum would always get me to practice beforehand. Like she'd make me read the Bible passage and then read it again, and then read it out loud, and then read it out loud. I remember having to say the word Mesopotamia. Like just I was trying to read it and
What's the context?
Is that in the Bible?
yeah, Mesopotamia is like it's in the Old Testament, right, or whatever.
Sounds like Manscaped.
Mesopotamia, and you'd have to, because you have to go up to the lectern on the stage kind of thing where the altar is, say do the reading, and then go sit back down. There weren't any more seats where my family was.
Yeah.
Because by the time I'd done my reading, some people had come and sit
They
down.
stole your
They took my seat. And so
Where you're like, sus Mesopotamia?
this is Mesopotamia. and like what people do is like at a comedy show, nobody wants to sit in the front row. Nobody, they'll sit in the second row.
You
but
get
like-
roasted by the
it's like
priest
school,
in the
bro.
homily, bro.
They'll sit in the no one sit in the front row. And so because these people had taken my seat, I went to go sit in the front row. And
Nerd.
I was right. And
This
I
guy's
was
going to heaven.
It was a hot day as well, and at the same time as sometimes when I feel embarrassed, I'll start to sweat and start to feel self-conscious. I'm sitting there and I'm like starting to sweat, and I'm already feeling embarrassed because I'm feeling like everyone's looking at me. I'm feeling anxious because everyone's staring at me, and the fact that I'm sweating. Oh no! Like I'm feeling even more anxious that people are staring at me, and then I get this really like it's almost like spider sense in the back of my neck, like starts to feel like it's tingling, and all of a sudden I feel somebody wipe the sweat from the back of my head. It's my mom in the second row, and I'm there going, "Oh!" I died of embarrassment, man. I was like, I'm embarrassed enough as it is already, and my mom's like wiping my head from the back,
wiping your lava.
Yeah, bro. You sweat a lot too. You sweat like a freaking waterfall, bro.
Dude.
When TLC made that song, they made it about you, bro.
Don't go chasing Don.
Yeah, bro.
If I see Don doing a reading next, I want to heckle, bro. Speak up, you nerd.
I'm offended.
Man.
I haven't really been back to church that much, man. Did you find anything different nowadays compared to before, other than
It's the same.
Yeah, I figured there'd be just like amen/women/he.
A them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, no.
This whole topic has just been lick those points on, lick those points on. Talking about religion. Oh, no, they're not religion.
This is gonna get cancelled.
All right, let's get into a segment then.
Yeah,
Sure.
All right, so where do you want to start? All right, Denise, what do you want to start? You want Don to speak or you want Garcia to speak?
It's not picking favorites.
Yeah, no favorites. Just
It's fine.
hey.
It's fine. I get it. I get it, Denise. I get it. It's fine.
You guys heard that?
It's whatever. I'll have another cookie.
He's been eating all the cookies. I haven't even tried one. I'm going to steal this last one.
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Hey, so what is the wild thought of the week this week?
Wild thought was more. This is kind of like I feel like kind of playing a game with you guys. Be like trivia. So I want to ask you guys a few questions, and then I know it's kind of like Family Feud. If you know the answer, just shout it out.
What's the questions? Is there a theme to the questions? Or?
Kind of, yeah. But
Okay.
they're not tricky or anything. It's
All right, here we
very,
go. Let's
very
do this.
simple. First one. What word can be used to describe a place where people drink? 3-letter word, not pub.
Bar.
But correct. All right. Second one. What is the name of Forrest Gump's friend who he later co-named his shrimp business with?
Bubba Gump.
Gum.
Bubba. Yeah. That was his first name. All right. I'm going to play this song, and then you guys have to tell me what the title of the song is.
Bubble butt.
Say again?
Bubble butt.
All right. And, okay.
Really?
For the final question, in the Philippines, what do they say when you step into an elevator and they ask you if you're going to go down?
Baba baba.
And extra points for the response.
Baba ba.
The response on
Baba ba.
Oh, God. Well, yeah. That was
As soon as when you said Bubba Gum, I was like,
There's a theme.
yeah. Oh, there is a theme, kind of.
It's going down.
Well, I just figured that, I don't know, man. I like the whole, we can say like a full sentence, and from a outsider's ear, you really wouldn't. It's like, what the hell are they saying? Baba baba. Yeah.
Baba baba.
Hubba baba.
Baba baba.
Oh my God.
We were talking about this before because we were listening to like music, music in English, and then in my head, because of the way that I was brought up, because I always translate things to Tagalog and then try to do it back again.
Yeah.
And so I would do things where directly translate. It's wrong, completely wrong how to say it. But there's that Fall Out Boy song called "It's Going Down, Down." Going down, down in an earlier round. In my head, ba 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 now in an earlier round.
Baba baba. The first time I remember, my brother was the one that kind of got me into it, like trying to replace the English words in songs with Tagalog, and it was Whitney Houston. I've got nothing, and it was just meron akong wala, wala, and it just sounded so funny to me.
Meron
I
akong
was like a
wala.
little 7-year-old just fucking giggling at that shit. Meron akong wala. Oh my God.
Oh man.
The thing that That wasn't the game thing. Wasn't the wild thought. One thing that I wanted to ask you guys was: have you guys seen the movie Air?
I watched last week.
The shoes. Yeah, I've seen it. No?
I've seen it. Yeah,
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
It's good. Yeah,
It's good, so good. It's like I like seeing because like in the mind of like now and watching it then is like wow, this shoe generated this much culture, millions of dollars, changed people. Like it really made sneaker game the sneaker game it is now, and then it just came from this one idea of like putting all bets on this one person.
Yeah,
you know?
and they bet on the right guy too. I think the thing that I enjoyed it was like it showed a window to, because everybody knows Nike, everybody knows Jordans, and it's just a natural thing that everybody knows that it's like such a big brand. But then it shows you into a world where that wasn't the case. Yeah. Like back then, no one really fucked with Nike. You know what I mean? Everyone was liking the European brands and stuff, and I guess it's like, the window to the 80s and stuff, just like just different mindset of people, how they do business. The thing that kind of got me about this was that there's no, I know it's got nothing to do with Filipinos, but it kind of does because it's the shoe game. And for Philippines, I think it's like, I don't know, we've been in that industry for a while, man. Like not so much contributor like having our own shoes out there, but when you think of like a mad shoe collector, doesn't a Filipino guy pop up in your head? You know what I mean? There's always, we all know at least like one Filipino dude that's like waiting in the lines, buying 2 pairs so he can wear one, put one on the shelves.
Shout out to Jed. Shout out to Jay.
How else did you thought that the Asian squat was invented?
Yeah,
they were waiting in line at a sneaker thing,
and they didn't want to crease their shoe. That's why they got to sit all the way down. But the outside of the sneaker game, like Philippines was, back then when you looked at Philippines on the Guinness Book of Records, there was only like one entry there, and it was the first lady. She had the biggest collection, like shoe collection, right?
Rose Porteous?
No. That's the miners thing. It's Imelda Marcos.
Sorry.
The Marcos family. So she reportedly, I think at that time, this was like going back like ages ago, she had 3,000 pairs.
Wow.
You know what I mean? She couldn't wear each one like different day, like, and still, I think it would take like 8 years or something to go through that. And that's if she stopped collecting. You know what I mean? So... And then even beyond that, like when you think of the biggest company in the Philippines right now, it's called SM Investments. So like places like SM Mega Mall and stuff, right? They own that. Like that's the chain.
Yep.
You know what SM stands for?
Shoemart.
You know what I mean? So it's like this is like our biggest industry in Phils right now. It started off from fucking selling shoes, man.
Yeah.
So I was thinking like when a movie comes out like Air, I at least would have thought like extras or some shit. We'd have like Filipinos in there or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, they don't even have it in nurses. They don't have nurses.
That's true.
They don't even like there's in Creed, not one Filipino's there.
Nah,
not one. They had the Spanish dude, Russian dude, another black dude, and another black dude. No Filipinos.
No mentions of Pacquiao.
No
nothing,
Pacquiao.
man.
No problem.
I don't know.
Not even a fictional Pacquiao, because Creed is a fictional character.
Yeah.
It just makes me sad.
I know.
This world.
What would be the Creed? What would be the Rocky version of a Filipino? Rocky Bulbosa?
Bulbosa. Oh man,
he's just throwing it like LeBron, in the air.
He's punching the lechon while it's spinning on the spit. It's not raw. It's just full cooked and everything.
He's massaging someone's back, fucking punching him and shit.
It's Mike Tyson.
Wow,
Tyson.
Say that to his face, bro. Say it to his tattooed face, bro.
No, Tyson. Oh no.
Oh
and there's my shit joke for the week. There we go, guys.
Muhammad Maleh.
Muhammad Malek.
This is the wrong Muhammad. It's not the right one.
That's Muhammad Ali and his Mrs. Aling Muhammad.
Aling. Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, if we're looking for cinematic representations of Filipinos in there, like we need to get to the nurses first, and then the boxers, and then maybe basketball and shoes.
I still haven't seen. Did you guys see that movie that Nats was talking about, which is the Triangle of Sadness?
I saw it. It's on Netflix.
Stuck in an island.
Yeah,
they're stuck on an island, and the cleaner, the female like janitor, she's Filipino, and then
I don't even think there was any Filipinos in Speed 2. The cruise control.
The cruise. Cruises is another thing, bro. They're Filipinos. That thing wouldn't float if there was no Filipinos in that boat. There any Filipinos that were in Titanic? No, I'm just kidding. I don't even know.
How many? That'd be good. That'd be interesting to see. I don't think what one was that? Like 1920s, 1930s.
Have you seen
early
the
1900s? I reckon Filipinos was
Producer Denise, when do we think the Titanic?
There's no computer right in front of her. Don't worry about her. Have you seen the parody of it, Titanic, the Filipino parody?
Titanic.
Titanic.
Really?
There is.
Because I thought
I just remember the sex scene part. The hand thing. He puts his face on the window and he just slides down.
So I remember
Such a that joke. I'm all for it.
I remember there was a movie called Over the Barcode.
Well, it used to be a TV show, and then it became a
movie.
Yeah.
And then it was like Over the Barcode. Tatay Nick was the Return of Tatay Nick or something like that. And that's where I remember Tatay Nick from. Man,
I need to rewatch that.
Over the Barcode.
Yeah.
Over the fence. It's funny that you brought up that film about like the whole making of Air Jordan and stuff, because there's a lot of films or there's a lot of stuff coming out like that. There was that Tetris movie as well. It's on Apple Plus.
I don't want to watch a movie about the beginning of Tetris.
It's actually pretty good.
I'm telling you, man. Like at first I was like, why are we watching this shit? But legit, bro, it's actually pretty dope.
How did they start it? Like they're moving shit.
So,
it was like, ooh, game.
So Tetris was built in Russia, like in the USSR.
I swear, it's
communist era, bro.
Communist era, and so it became.
It's like, all right, let's give an origin story for Tetris. Let's make it more interesting than the game. Let's make it a spy movie. And because in Russia, bro.
Even like the music in Tetris. Dun, 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 dun. How's it go again? Dun, 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 dun. That's a Russian song.
Yeah.
That's a Russian song.
Okay.
And so there was this Russian scientist who built.
Was he a mad scientist?
He was pretty mad.
Well, he's a computer scientist.
Mad.
So it's a bit.
You know how movies just exaggerate things, right? He's probably just a normal scientist.
He was really just a normal dude in the movie.
But in the movie, he's like,
He looked like Albert Einstein.
This is my creation.
But in the movie, right, basically because it's a communist country, the government controls what gets sold out of the country.
The thing, this dude made it, right? And then just passed it to his mates, and everyone's like playing it just because it's fucking communist Russia. Nothing's fun over there. And then one of his workmates gets caught playing a game, and they go, "What the fuck is this?" And then eventually it's like, "Oh, this dude made it."
Yep.
And then he gets in trouble for it, and then eventually, like, if someone sneaks it out of the country.
Yeah, someone sneaks it out of the country. They sold it. They sold the rights to it, and there was different rights. So they sold the rights to it. And there was a company that was selling it, and they were embezzling some of the money. There's all of this stuff going on.
It's like
Tetris,
legit, like the guy that licensed it outside of Russia, he had to like sneak in there under like false like identities and shit, and then because otherwise the government was like fucking after it.
It's pretty much Argo, kind of Tetris.
Yeah. Well, this is like more. This is kind of like
Saving Private Tetris.
What do you call it? Communism versus capitalism.
Capitalism, yeah.
This is how they got. Infiltrated or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just like wild to see how, again, it's like when you think of Tetris, it's like, it's not even that great of a game. But it opens up a window to what the world was like, especially for Russians, right? Where nothing is fucking fun. Everything's just about work and stuff.
Yeah.
Even when they were like, oh, by the way, we've sold fucking millions of these, like, this copy of this game, and then the country goes, oh well, since that came from Russia, we're going to take the profits. Not that dude that made the game. You know what I mean? Oh, bro, it's such a mad trip, man.
I swear, if there's a GCU coming up, like a game cinematic universe, and then we get a snake game.
Oh yeah,
an origin story of snakes.
Some guy from Nokia was like, "What game are you playing?" This shit, it gets longer and longer every time he eats.
It's like, ooh.
I'll tell you what. After watching that Tetris movie, I started playing Tetris again, but on PS5. There is a version of it.
It's like
we play virtual reality.
It is
virtual reality Tetris. It's just him moving boxes like this. He's like, oh, this is a really good game of Tetris.
And then his room is like fucking messy as fuck.
I make a line of things, and then it's like,
it's not disappearing. They're in Russia, in the communist area.
No, the version of Tetris that I'm playing on PS5 is like, it's called Tetris Journey or something of that nature. They've got music, and it every time you hit like you change the blocks or you get a line,
do it to a beat.
It sounds like it's to the beat. So it's like all of this dance music, this electronic music, and there's all these lights.
The game part's still the same.
The game's the same. It's like you're playing Tetris, but you're tripping balls because there's.
It feels like I'm just playing Tetris, but with the radio on. You know what I mean? It's like, let me put my favorite song on, and it's I'm really innovative.
You know what make this more interesting? If I was doing it onto the beat.
Yeah.
But the other thing is like if it's like almost like I'm on drugs, I'm tripping because all of this, there's so much color, there's so much music going. It's like being at a rave but playing Tetris.
You know how there's tournaments for Tetris and all that stuff, right? Yeah. Even they acknowledge the fact that it's fucking boring, bro. Because they started doing offshoots of Tetris arm wrestling.
Yeah.
So they're playing the game, versing each other whilst arm wrestling each other with one arm.
Fuck.
Like I'm not even kidding, dude. This is. So when you think like video game tournaments and stuff, you think of some like Asian, like little Asian kid or whatever, right? Because we're the fucking best at video games. But now it's like big beefy guys, right? And they got their IT glasses on, but they got like massive guns and they're with each other.
How do you enter? Asking for a friend.
How do you see? This is why you sit in the front of the church, bro.
Bro, I want to see him sweat in front of Tetris, bro. Like,
a friend of mine, shout outs to Adrian Magno, was actually one of the top Tetris players in Australia.
Wow. Why are we still talking about Tetris, bro? So boring.
And I remember because I remember like him. I was playing Tetris and he was watching me play, and he's like just yelling at me. He's like, "Why did you do that? You could have done this and this." And I'm like, "Bro, it's just a game, man. It's just
Take
a
it
game.
too seriously.
Just a game. Relax, man."
You could be like the Queen's Gambit of Tetris, bro.
Don's Gambit.
Don's Gambit.
The Queen's 8-bit.
The reason why I was talking about Tetris and like the air and stuff is that, have you guys seen the latest Black Mirror episodes?
Oh, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I'm gonna watch it this weekend.
They binge it, bro. It's so good.
They try to comment heavily on the true to life stories, that they're based on a true stories.
Oh, I didn't know that now.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, all the old episodes are becoming real anyway.
Yeah.
It just becomes too real. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
How can we make this more real? Let's just do it true stories.
This is why they postponed the release of this season. Because it was supposed to go out whilst everyone was in lockdown, and they were like, and they leaned in on that marketing, like, look, we're going to hold off on releasing this because life is worse than a Black Mirror episode right now.
Yeah.
And then finally it's out, man.
Like the one, and try not to spoil it for you. The first episode is called Joan is Awful, and you see it in the trailer anyway. But she's living her life, and then when she goes home, she watches Streamberry, which is the Netflix version of that.
Yeah, I've seen the ad, and then things come to life type of thing.
Yeah, people are watching her life as she's lived it during the day, and it's like
it's like a Truman Show type of thing.
Kind of, yeah.
But it's like
Salma Hayek playing her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no cameras around her.
Okay, so like someone's been like,
it looks like a full production TV show, but it's everything that happened throughout her day.
Oh man, that's
like
crazy.
within up to like 2 hours of her life is already on the show.
Yeah.
So it's like
that could happen for real.
And because I remember there was an interview with Millie Bobby Brown, and she was saying something about wanting to play Britney Spears in like a biopic. and then Britney Spears commenting that she's like, "I'm not dead yet, guys.
Like, terrible.
I'm still around."
I'm like, why don't you get Britney Spears, man?
Well, there's a difference between Britney Spears now and Hit Me Baby One More Time.
She got hit too many times. Hardship.
Probably
Hardship.
Probably also literally.
That part of the story would be more interesting than the friggin'
Tetris.
but like to think that somebody like it's their interpretation of your life, not your interpreted. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the. I think the commentary they're trying to say.
If I was Britney Spears, like, go for it. I want to see how much stuff you get wrong about my life, because, like, you know, biopics are not like to the truth, right? They're not accurate.
It's supposed to be overly dramatic as well, because it's drama. It's meant to be drama.
Yeah, like Tetris in Russia.
Would you? I don't know. On the show, right? And she was like saying, "Why would they do this to me? Like, my life's not even that, crazy or whatever." But obviously, to make a TV show crazy, like, you got to emphasize things, exaggerate stuff, make it more dramatic. Would you like that show? I know there's going to be fame tied to it, but if someone was to create a TV show or movie about your life now, would you like that shit?
It would go from recording a podcast, eating food, and then just me sitting around doing fuck all.
But they can interpret that as a guy going through a mental breakdown.
That's probably it.
Yeah, they're gonna exaggerate that shit.
It's like, I need to rest. This is my rest time.
And they're gonna portray us as people trying to steal from you and your content and using you and abusing you.
Also at the gym, every time I'm not doing absolutely nothing, I'll be at the gym. But like, I wouldn't find that interesting at all.
Yeah, but someone else will.
Yeah.
What you find boring will find something. You know, I find Tetris boring, but it seems to be the best thing in the world for you. So
It's a good movie, man.
Watch this next week. I'll be like, oh, you know what? I'll watch the Tetris movie.
Yeah.
So it's amazing, bro.
So good.
It's like, man.
Oh, yeah, well, what's one man's Tetris is another man's ass. So
one man's Tetris is another man's treasure. So you're saying it's trash, bro?
It's trash, bro. The game and the movie, bro.
Oh man.
But like, yeah, man, like,
Tetris.
I find your life interesting. I find our lives interesting.
Yeah,
like I could see how people can exaggerate it in a movie, and
I want to. No, I'm not gonna say.
But the sucky thing is that you're not earning money from it. You know, this is your story being told.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
It's the
But it's a. I mean, I reckon you should watch it, bro. It's pretty cool.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's a good concept, like, because they're not just gonna throw that idea. There's some sort of like explanation as to how all of this is going on.
Yeah.
Okay, since we're in the Black Mirror stage right now, what is your favorite Black Mirror episodes so far?
There's
so many.
There's
one that doesn't stand out. It doesn't have to be your favorite. What stands out?
I think this is it's like a Christmas special. So I think it's between season 2 and 3.
Is that the one with John Hamm in it?
Yes, that one.
Oh, that one.
That one's like a full movie. I think it was like almost 2 hours and stuff.
Yeah.
But that one is my favorite one, just because it's so involved. Like, there's like 3 different stories in that one episode, and the torture of what that person goes through. I don't want to spoil it. If you got access to that shit, you should watch that.
But it's old, so you can spoil it now. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's in the previous season. What, they're up to season 6 now?
6 now, yes.
Well, okay. Well, the I guess to shorten the plot is it's a world where they have these little like tabs that you put on your temple, and it records things. Basically, you can download a copy of your
memories,
your personality, basically, and then have it as a digital copy, and then you can have that as like your Siri, basically, or Alexa at home, and then control everything for you, because it's you. You know how your day runs. They can like set the toaster to
how you like it.
Start the coffee at so and so and make the coffee fucking perfect. And this is all digital, by the way. But the thing is, in the movie, there's a crime that's been committed. The guy is in jail, and they used his virtual copy a virtual identity to interrogate. And when things are digital, like you can mess with things like how long, like how the speed of time. Basically, in the end, they interrogated the digital copy, and then they were able to get the confession out of him.
That was the twist, right?
Put the real person in jail because of that. But then the way that they tortured that guy is they go, oh, I've put that setting so that each minute feels like a year.
Yeah.
And then like that was the reason why the guy was like so, I guess, mentally drained, because he feels like he's been there for 5 years.
Yep.
And he's like ready to, I'm just going to let it out. I'm just going to confess. The way that they ended that episode is they go, oh, I'm just mucking around with this guy's time thing, all right?
Yeah.
And he goes like, each minute is like 1,000 years. And they go, how long do you reckon we should leave that for? And then, because it's a Christmas episode, they go, fuck, let's go to the pub and have our Christmas party.
They leave it
just
on.
leave it on.
Yeah.
Bro.
And he came back, fuck.
Yeah, that digital version is not going to starve to death or anything. It's just a constant thing.
But
Imagine for thousands of years.
Your mind will deteriorate.
Oh
for
my
sure,
gosh,
man.
bro. Because that's the thing. I kind of value the identity, not so much just the physical, but your personality, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's so torturous, man.
Yeah. The thing with that is it's crazy to think, because I this is weird part of me. I think about how I would react if I was tortured, or if I was like put through some like really stressful shit. And I'm like, man, I would probably break.
Straight away.
Yeah, because it's like,
I couldn't do that shit, bro.
It's like how would you handle that shit? You can't prepare yourself to do any of that stuff. Yes, I've done martial arts. Yes, I've done this kind of stuff. But it's like, this
mental is a different thing.
Yeah, mental is a different thing.
You hear of people getting like waterboarded or whatever, or like put those sleep deprivation stuff.
Yeah.
Imagine one day, right? And I told you, Don, hey, I've done something fucking heinous.
Yeah.
Now that you know about it, if cops ever ask you, don't fucking tell, right? Like, because you don't want to snitch on me, right?
Yeah.
Because you know why? Snitches get what? Snitches get...
Stitches?
Yeah.
Like on your eyebrow.
It was actually glued, so snitches get glues.
But
if stitches on your stomach from laughing?
If that did happen, right? And cops were like, hey, like if you tell us what happened, like, you know, we won't torture you. Would you crack? How far would you go to not snitch on me?
So cops aren't gonna torture me to get a confession. That's not gonna happen.
But I'm
talking about I'm not talking about interrogation. I'm talking about like torture, like somebody you know how there was one.
You don't know how fucked up whatever things I did.
But the police aren't gonna torture me.
Maybe it's
in this alternate reality they will. They're like gonna
alternate reality,
or maybe in a real world. You know,
have you seen there was a James Bond movie? Hang on. The James Bond movie. What I'm talking about is like there's this James Bond movie where they strap him to a fucking chair, and there's no bottom on the chair. And he's like butt naked,
and then they smash him in the
fucking
nuts.
hit him in the nuts, and then like they electrocute him. That's what I'm talking about. That's the shit that would break. Not asking me questions.
If someone
and
did
shit.
that to you, would you snitch on me?
Nah.
Whatever.
Took them all to get there.
What about if they waterboarded you?
No, shut the fuck up.
No, you wouldn't.
He's trying to find your breaking point, bro.
What if
your family got? What if your family got like threaten your family?
It's like taken, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna take your kids.
Then I would go Liam Neeson on some motherfuckers. That's what I would do.
What would you do, Don, if they were gonna sell me in the black market? I was dancing around like that chick. And a bunch of guys are auctioning.
Fucking
One guy's like, I'll pay you $50. Like, bro, not even. It cost me $70 to get here, man. Come on.
I would talk to you. I'd be like, how much do you reckon you want, bro? Like, I'll just take a 10% finder's fee. That's it.
I reckon Don could have the chance to buy me from that black market, and they'd be like $250. Oh, I don't know. Is it worth it? Saving Garcia from this black market industry.
Fucking hell.
I've got $230.
What would James Bond do?
He's got like
WWJBD.
You know, I figured James Bond will get the job done, but somewhere along the process, he's gonna slap a woman for some reason. There's a compilation out there. It's like every movie, he's always slapping women.
Really?
Yeah, bro. It's a different time, man.
Ian Fleming.
I mean, a different time. It's been in every generation of fucking lives. There's a recent one like last year, pretty sure.
Oh, Daniel Craig?
Yeah.
Whack.
But yeah, with Black Mirror, they've always played around with the memory thing. And then you can duplicate that. They did the
consciousness
with the chick from Shuri from Wakanda Forever.
Shuri.
She was with the bear, and then the memory, because they treat it as if the memory becomes its entity itself.
And
there's also the one where the other MCU chick, the one.
Wait, is that your favorite episode of Black Mirror?
I'm just going through like moments that just come into my mind.
San Junipero was one of the best, lauded as one of the best episodes. That's where they were in like a virtual world and they fell in love, and San Junipero was just a retirement database where
afterlife database type of thing, and and with the whole thing with memories, like do you think that's gonna be real shit? Because like right now, Elon Musk has this thing where you could put a chip into your brain, and the whole purpose of it is to like try to figure out how the brain works and everything. And
all it will be is a matter of storage space and power. That's all they need.
Oh, there's G Drive and Dropbox.
There's all
Imagine opening a Dropbox, it's memories.
But if you think about it, like we're limited to probably hundreds.
I'll be out of the job, bro. I'm worried about my job now.
We're only limited to maybe hundreds of terabytes at the moment, or hundreds of thousands of terabytes.
Petabytes, I think.
Something like that, right? There's a certain limit at which we can store data and then process that data quickly. Our brains are able to do that, store a multitude of data and power it with like not that much effort. But once we get to the point where our technology can do that, that's when we'll be able to be like, oh, cool, we'll store somebody's memory or their personality on this little chip.
Would you opt in for that shit though?
I guess that's a difficult question. Yes and no.
I really wouldn't give a fuck because it's a copy of me, dude. It's legit copy and paste of
your memories,
my consciousness. Yeah. Like, so that will live on. If I was to die, it's not like I'm living on. It's like, I know for me, my experience is going to end. But that copy, it's really for everyone else, or like my family or whatever. They still want to talk to me or whatever. Yeah. It's really for them. I don't know why you would want to.
So you're basically talking about having a baby.
Yeah,
it's your legacy.
It's like all these people who don't want to have a baby. It's like, oh, maybe I should just clone my memories.
It's for everyone else,
Your personality. It's for somebody else.
God. Happy Father's Day to you, man.
I get the understanding. Yeah, it's meant to be like for other people, but
there's that episode with what's her name? Haley. She played
Barry.
She played
Steinfeld.
She played Captain America's love interest, Captain Carter.
Sharon Carter.
No, the other one, the older one.
The older one?
Was she in
Haley Atwell.
We got there.
Captain Carter, there we go.
Where she loses her husband and then she gets a clone of a sex toy thing of her husband with all the memories and it speaks the same thing.
Episodes
does the same thing. And that pretty much.
And so, I mean, they're trying to make the commentary on, is that copy then an actual person or is that a soul? Like,
isn't a soul makes a person?
Yeah, that's the commentary. One of my favorite episodes is called "Hang the DJ," and it's a story of like a guy and a girl, and they're going through like a relationship.
It's and they all keep going.
And then it's just like all the different iterations of their relationship, and it goes back and forth, and whatever. Yeah. And then you find out that it's actually just a simulation.
It's one run of simulation.
It's a run of simulation of matching their compatibility.
If they made that into a Tetris movie, I'd be interested. Because I was like, oh bro, this is this app all along.
It's like trying to register what their compatibility is based on
if they would escape
their personality based on their thing. And so the question then there is like, is that simulation of them a consciousness? Is that them then a
Well,
version?
that's the what they're trying to portray.
Yeah.
Every time you run a simulation of something, that's someone living their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
You reckon every time we sing karaoke, there's an alternate universe that is going through like hell and going through some shit, just so we can get that particular score?
the score, yeah, that's it simulates it.
It's like 99. Ooh, that alternate universe is
like-
doing all right.
How well did you compare to the other universe?
Because like if you think about it, right now our likeness and our voices are being recorded, and we've
Bro, you
always
can create me
yeah,
easily.
like that's the thing. Like with AI now, you can take all of this content that we've created and then create what would be a version of us. It would be, and like it's been said before, like social media and the stuff on this podcast is a fraction of who we actually are. But like,
Ooh, do you think the reason why podcasts, the genre of podcasts has boomed is because it was encouraged by the government to get people to make their own podcasts?
yeah,
maybe.
so we can clone.
we can
Ooh.
get clones of your voice
Conspiracy.
and the way you speak.
We can deepfake
conspiracy.
all this data.
Yeah,
so
man.
they're collecting of us, bro.
I can't
All
remember.
right, this is the last episode of the Cheatcoders podcast.
I can't remember who said it. I was saying that very thing to a friend of mine, and they were like, "Who the fuck do you think you are to think that the government's gonna give a fuck and want to clone you? Like, who are you? Like,
Then I'll be like, don't you listen to our podcast?
At first, that's what I
Don't
used
you know
to.
our following?
and I said to them, I go, thank you. I need like to be brought back down to earth. I'm not it's just me being paranoid. I'm like, oh, they're out to get me.
The whole data mining issue, right? And at first, I was like, I don't really give a fuck. They can search whatever, like I want to buy or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, okay, this is kind of getting a little bit like this is something to worry about.
Yeah,
now.
it's spooky.
Because there's a lot of things that I might look like how much time I spend on certain apps or whatever.
Yeah.
That's getting sent over to someone that, eventually they'll be able to paint a picture, like a better picture of what I'm like more than what I think I know of myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually it becomes to, the point of, it's not so much like how fucking interesting do you think I am to be worried about my likeness being stolen.
Yeah.
But it's when things are going to be manipulated around me because of what they know about me, then that's when it's starting to worry me,
Yeah.
It's like maybe really random shit, right? They know the type of person I am. I like my cars or whatever. They know the type of car I have because of the photos I take or whatever. What if they start putting petrol prices around my town higher because they know that there's going to be a lot more car-centric people, like, you know what I mean? So it's just shit like that, dude. Like things it seems like very distant.
But that's happening now, isn't it? Because
It is.
like
Exactly.
if you
It's
go
happening
on the
now.
internet and try to get like travel prices, prices are different depending on where you live, type of thing. I think,
Yep.
or
Yeah.
whatever computer you use, whatever browser you use, whatever all those variables, like it comes down to the price that you get at the end of the day. So I think this is being used now, like.
It's that's the worry.
That's why I always travel to to cheapest places. Like I go, if I'm going to go on a holiday, I go to the cheapest place in Sydney.
Oh man,
Put my laptop on. It's the cheapest laptop ever. Get the discounts.
I want to use my old Nokia 91N to look up flights.
$100.
Severe Pacific,
I think that's happening, man. Like
It is.
It's happening, and it's all
bro,
data.
it's
Like
been happening, man. Like
It's
that's
a
why
census,
Facebook
bro,
ended
yeah.
up going to court and shit. But like that was the thing, when your mate was saying like, who the fuck do you think you are to think that people are interested about what you do?
Yeah.
But fuck, they are, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They are collectively because they use it to understand trends and.
You were doing it for Google,
Yeah.
spy.
yeah, that's why he's been defending it all this time.
Are you not a clone? What have you done to Don?
Actually, I like this Don better.
Yeah.
Leave the other Don away. Imagine that being liked, your clone being liked more than
Oh,
you.
that's gonna hurt, bro. Ugh.
I like you because you have less personality. The other Don, he's a bit too much. Sleeves are off.
You're all
always
you're all
push-ups.
the good bits.
All the bits that Don would, everything that I love about Don.
That'll just be Again, that's like
without the personality.
Again, that's just like having a kid, right? Because
hey, I'm trying to cherish every moment that I have with Seth because I was like, see how much influence I get on Reels. I'm watching Reels, and this reel pops up as like the first 12 years of your child's life. You are the hero of his life, and after that, he's gonna get best friends. He's gonna get love interests. He's gonna, he's gonna have ambitions. You will no longer be the hero of his life after 12. And I'm like, oh man. I got 11 more years left. Doing a hug and shit. They don't leave me.
Fun fact, or like this is something that I'd heard that I think they theorize that there's an evolutionary trait, or it's something chemical in the fact that kids will love you up until a certain point in their life, like maybe puberty or something, and then they'll hate you because that's the time that they need to leave like the family. And for I guess
that's an evolutionary thing.
Evolutionary, because for I guess procreational purposes they need to be away from the family to go find their own thing and then procreate themselves. So it's like I've heard stories of like people whose kids are like, my daughter's like 17 now and like she hates me and this and that, and it's like but she's meant to like leave the house. She's meant to kind of find out who she is.
You reckon the Filipino gene's a bit different? Because I think I stayed till like, how old did I stay till? About 28.
When did you get married?
Yeah, man. I did because of God, bro. I wanted to leave the house,
Don't put it on God, man.
Leave the house after I get married.
He's got a lot of shit on his plate.
Leave the house before marriage, and religion says
you know whose fault it was? The guy that died for our sins, man. It's all on him, bro.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I think that's a difference in culture than it is like evolution.
Yeah.
Like for us,
we evolved differently.
We evolved differently.
We want to stay in the house as much as possible.
We evolved with respect.
You know why? Because the cooking was just too good. I'll stay here. Or is Nats is the perfect example, bro.
It's adobo or pussy. For that adobo is so good, man. Evolution is thrown.
But I mean,
you know what killed evolution? Adobo.
Mum's cooking.
Because once I left, I took adobo for granted, bro.
I mean,
you eat it every day.
I mean, nowadays it's kind of because of rising interest rates and the cost of housing in Sydney.
It's still the adobo, bro.
And then like, but the other thing is when
have you tasted adobo after you left the house, bro? It's 10 times better. You don't get as much.
Yeah, when it's taken away from you.
Yeah, man.
But the in the Philippines it's the same. Like
because adobo's all over the place there. Or maybe it's even less because like you could just go to the corner shop and get adobo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's it might be the same for other cultures, not just Filipino cultures.
Living a vida adobo.
Fuck. It might be the same for other cultures, but living at home until you get married is very Filipino.
Yeah, man.
I think that's a lot of Asian countries are like that.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Like with the white family household, by the time they hit 18, parents want them out, and then if they're like in an ethnic household, like they try to keep you in as much as possible.
It's a thing. Your kids are your it's kind of fucked up. Your kids are your retirement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a shitty kind of topic to
you just dampened the conversation.
But that's part of the reason why. Like, when people would have like so many kids back then, because we didn't have a fucking superannuation 401k back then. It was more you built up your family. Eventually, that family is the one that's going to take care of you when you reach that age and stuff. So eventually, you're going to have like some of that family stay with you. Yeah. Not everybody's going to leave because someone's got to look after you, which is the point of having them to begin with.
That's the super ANAKation.
ANAKation. Because it's not just fillers, where it's all Asian.
Super ANAKation.
The Indonesians out there will understand that as well, because Anak is the same in Indonesia.
Give me 11% of your income and put that shit away.
So you can take care of me.
Yeah. Fuck it up.
But yeah, that's the way of thinking in like I think it's as well in the Indian culture as well. Like don't take them to a nursing home.
Yeah.
You need to take care of your parents when they get older, type of thing.
I didn't know nursing homes existed until I moved here. I thought that was so weird.
Why else do you think your parents want you to be a nurse?
Yeah, see,
it's the circle of life,
man.
You already do it for your job. You might as well just take care of me.
Like, you come back and nurse me when I need it, but go take care of someone else right now and get some money.
Money and
Give me some money.
Okay, yeah.
Go to Dubai. It's so fucked, man, but it's fucking real. That's why it hurts, bro.
Oh man,
We can only laugh.
my
What else
dad.
can you do but laugh?
I remember, like, because when I first wanted to move out, I remember my dad getting emotional and him getting upset because it was almost as if, like, is our house not good enough for you? Like, it was almost like he took it personally that I wanted.
When
I wanted to move out,
yeah.
and I was like, nah, Dad, I just can't. I can't bring women home. You know, like
You probably could have. You had like rooms in the back of the house. You got an extension done.
but like, I'm trying to make light of the situation, but like, I wanted to live my life elsewhere. I wanted to live closer to work and do all this stuff. And I remember my dad getting upset about it. I'm like, it's not you, like
it's me.
You had to break up with him.
And the funny thing was, like I'd be there every weekend anyway. Like go visit my parents every weekend anyway. But
you're coming back, huh? Coming back for the adorable, huh?
Eventually, it gets to the point where it's like your parents are there. They're the ones looking after you and stuff, because basically it's like you're benefiting from them more than they're benefiting from you having you in their house, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then eventually they reach that point where it's the other way around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think for Filipinos, we just acknowledge the fact that, like, that's your parents, bro. Look after them. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Whereas it's like over here, it's like, hey, the government's gonna fucking pay someone money to look after you on your final years. It's kind of fucked up, but it's the world we live in. Yeah. It's wow. Talk dampening fucking.
My sister's here as well, man. I was just thinking about what are we gonna do?
Dampening.
The episodes are usually funnier than this, Denise. Oh my god.
We're much funnier than this. We don't get into
He's like, we got an audience. Let's make them depressed. Let's do that. But like, yeah, man.
It's just real.
But for real. All right, let's find a topic. Let's go to Dawn.
All right.
All right. Sorry, no pressure, but you just gotta put some light into this conversation. No pressure.
Let's skip the depressing shit.
No pressure. So okay, let me just go through my list. Yeah, not that one. Not that one. Not that one.
We're asking the most depressed one to lighten the mood.
Not that one. No. So
let me just talk about work.
there was a post on Twitter. Have you guys seen that series called Succession?
No.
Apparently it's amazing.
It's a TV show about a really wealthy family and this and that. But effectively, they pointed out that there was a sign of wealth on the show. That everybody on the show didn't have a phone case on their phone. So they were so wealthy that they were like, if I drop my phone, fuck it, I'll just get a new one. Like that was their sneaky sign of wealth to show how rich they are. Like, because my phone has a case.
That's just a sign of irresponsibility, bro. Because if I drop my phone, all of the shit that I have to go to a shop, and, you know what I mean?
Like
if I didn't have even if I had money, it's a lot of stuff there that I lose.
It is, yeah, that's true. But then, but on the show, like on this particular Twitter post, they were saying like that's their low key sign of.
Low-key flex.
Yeah, the low-key flex that, they're not flexing it overtly. And I was thinking about for like Filipinos, some Filipinos would like to have like, the Louis Vuitton bags and the Gucci stuff and whatever. Yeah. And I'm thinking that doesn't necessarily relate to me. Maybe to like my mom likes that kind of stuff as well. But what are some things that you guys do to kind of flex?
To flex?
To flex, but like low-key flex.
Recently though, like I I just go for drives, like random drives. I'm not going anywhere. Just want to go for a drive.
Yeah.
And with these petrol prices, it's a bit of a flex, bro.
That's true. That's true.
The petrol prices really affect this guy.
Especially on your car, mate.
Man, and I calculate that shit too, because like I'll go for a random drive to get a pork roll, right?
Yeah.
Eat a Cabra man. It's about an hour each, like an hour round trip, and and this is after I've filled up, and then I see where it's sitting afterwards, and like, maybe I should have just gone to Macca's or something. Would have been cheaper.
Should have went around the corner to get some
calculating
Macca's.
Maybe I should buy a bike.
What about you, Raph?
That's my flex.
What about you, Raph? What do you reckon your low key flex is?
I need glasses, but I don't wear them. You know why? Because I don't need to wear them. I don't need to see the world in perfect vision.
I don't know if that's
seen enough.
I don't know if that's a flex, bro.
This is Raph if he was like wealthy, not just like rich. He's like got money. He has people to run up to things and tell him what it says. Like, you know, like read that for me because I can't see it. I have a lucky for that.
What time does it say over there on that clock?
Yeah, that's it, bro.
And then he'd flex to everyone else. Yeah, this guy was a sniper spotter and shit. Like, you know, like he's the best at spotting things, reading things and stuff.
Perfect vision.
He gets Jeremy Renner.
Perfect vision, bro.
Oh man.
I just get him to run around, read shit. Tell me what it says.
Oh, dude. I was gonna say for me, I used to have these crazy watches.
Yeah.
They were like from a company called Tokyo Flash. And
yeah, I remember them.
It was like there were different watches, and there'd be just a watch where, say, it'd be like 2 lights on it, or like 2 little light bulbs or whatever, and that's it. And then that's how you tell the time. So there's a certain way you tell the time using that watch.
It's just a creative way to
read the time.
Yeah, to read the time.
Or there'd be like lines on it, and there's certain like not like a clock face, but.
So like, okay, like my new flex is my clocks don't have numbers.
Yeah.
I can read analog.
I had an analog watch, and I was showing it to my godson, and I'm like, hey, do you know what time it is? And he's like, he looks at the watch and he's like, I don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? He doesn't know how to read the analog clock.
That's I remember seeing a TikTok of someone go like, do you know what cursive is? Or they just couldn't read cursive.
Right.
Because everything's digital now.
Yeah.
And so there's no need for it. And it's like,
I don't even know if people write anymore.
That's true.
You know another flex, bro? Guacamole, no hesitation.
Free guac. Oh no, it's the $2 guac.
I'll pay the $2, no question.
Extra pate in my bun me, bro. Throw that shit in there.
No question.
Keep the change, lady.
Keep the change. The amount of times I've said that, every single time, a flex.
I feel like then dessert is a flex.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I got it. Don't worry. What do you want? I got it.
Like, and
that was always payday as well. Before payday is like, you got it?
I've seen the you know how I always say like I go to Cabra, and I'll go for a pork roll or whatever.
Yeah,
that space because it's open like in the middle of the night, and that's when I go. There's always junkies and stuff because it's known like there's a big drug problem out that way, right? There's junkies out there that's always asking for your change and stuff. And I've seen them. It's not like a speculation. I've seen the same person sitting there, walk to the other back of the alley, come back fucking strung out. So when they're asking for change, I'll, like after, because they're like right next to me when I'm buying my banh mi, and I'll give my money and I'll say it louder, like, keep the change, lady. Like looking at this junkie like, yeah, you didn't get none of that. This is going to that business, bro. Fucking...
You want change?
Get off of that shit.
If you want change, you gotta change your life.
Yeah, man.
I always think to like offer them food, but then in my head I'm like, how many people have bought them a banh mi already in one night?
Tactic,
but that's for people that are homeless and stuff, not junkies. It's a very different thing.
Yeah.
Someone that actually needs help, like because they're hungry. Fucking bro, I'll buy them a banh mi as well, man. There was a couple of years ago that I gave him my jacket and he was fucking loving it. Turns out it was his birthday as well. So he was like telling everyone else I was buying bunnies, like lined up. And it's like, bro, check out my new jacket, man. Blah, blah, blah. This dude just gave it to me. He was really appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And he was the guy that was like deserving of that help. But there's other people that just fucking, they know. It's like, oh man, people are going to have loose change. I'm just going to get it off them so I can score some more shit, you know, like it's almost like smack. Like
that was a hidden flex there, bro. You gave it jacket.
Oh man,
that's a hidden flex, bro.
I mean, he gave a jacket to somebody in the Philippines as well. So.
No,
flexing, bro.
No, this isn't really.
Aren't you cold, bro? Shit.
That jacket was in my boot because I was supposed to go to the St. Reunions. That's why I had it on me.
I see.
It didn't fit me anymore. I was gonna go to someone else anyway.
Hidden flex there.
That's still a flex.
Bro, I got some for
it's
you.
Either you're homeless or you're sleeping with Garcia.
And this is
either way, you got my warm, bro. Shout out to my red hoodie.
You open your cupboard like, fuck, bro, winter's coming. I got no friggin' jumpers.
You have to watch it. You have to.
I think episode 218.
Yeah, you have to watch it.
I'm pretty sure it's a relatable thing.
You gotta watch a different episode to understand the context of that. Denise will tell you later. Don't worry.
Friggin' women, bro, like they're really good at taking your jumpers, bro. Really good.
I was gonna say with this, like the whole flex thing, because I'm not a big dessert person, but I feel like having dessert at dinner is a bit of a flex, because like you don't need it. If you eat it, most people are like, oh, I'm so full after the main. I'm so full I can't eat. But then they still want dessert afterwards. Get fucked. You're just flexing.
No, but that's because it just tastes nice, bro. That's what people just want to live their lives, bro.
You guys like, you don't need it.
You don't need it.
Flexing his muscles and
you
shit.
You don't need a steak. Just eat a potato, bro. Why are you putting salt on your shit, bro? You don't need flavor.
Tear my suit. You're going to be tearing your suit up, bro. Shit.
You don't need it. You don't need it. It's a flex.
Tea?
Have dessert.
What are you having tea for? Just have water, you dickhead.
Eating at restaurants is a flex as well. You know, like, oh, you're eating food for like leisure.
Yeah.
No, people out there.
Why have fun?
Why have fun? They got a restaurant. It's a flex.
I don't know. All the listeners out there, what do you think? Do you think having dessert is a flex? This is me speaking from someone who doesn't like eating dessert. So
yeah.
So.
Hater. What a hater over here.
Hater. Eating cookies then is a flex.
Yeah, that was completely a flex.
Bro, I don't know how.
And then that poppy seed lemon
I don't know how your
muffin.
sister found out with that shit. Man, it's one of those things I'll tell like people like, oh, I'm just going to go to the Woolies and shit, get some groceries. It's because I'm fucking craving these cookies, bro. And macadamia.
The white chocolate macadamia.
Yeah, bro. Oh my gosh. I saw him bring it here. I was like, hang on. All these data mining things. That's how she found out.
You were talking about it the other day, and your phone picked it up.
Yeah, man.
They sent Denise.
Are you part of Black Mirror, Denise?
Oh man.
But yeah, man.
Flex. My life's being played by Selma Hayek.
Flex. Yeah, that was my. It was not really a fun fact or a interesting thing, but. Yeah, man. I think even if I had money, I would still put a case on my phone.
I haven't told you guys. I put it on my story though. A couple of weeks ago, I was 2 numbers away from hitting a jackpot on the lotto.
20 mil.
Yeah. You know the bullshit that plays in your head afterwards, bro. It's like, fuck, I could have quit my job just then. Fucking that morning after, it's like, fuck, 2 numbers.
Life would have changed.
So
bro.
cold and shit. I don't want to get out of bed, man. But I didn't get those 2 numbers. I started playing scenarios in my head.
That's how they get you hooked, bro. You're gonna buy another ticket because like you thought you're closer then.
Well, I did get some money, but it wasn't, you know. That money went straight to buying another ticket, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. That's a business, bro.
Yeah, man.
They get you, bro.
Yeah. But it's like I'm paying for the dream, bro. I like dreaming about that shit.
It just makes me think, like, how did they come up with this? Like, hey, everybody give us some money.
You know, it's kind of fucked up.
And then if you get a certain amount of numbers in a sequence, we'll give you some more money. Like that's the thing. Like you give us a bit of money, and then they have enough people in a pool that they can be like, cool, yeah, you have that. We'll get $1 from everyone. And
It's a genius move, bro. It's like, oh, what does everyone want? Money. What you need to pay money to get money, and then the money they use to get money is the money that they give.
Yeah.
But there's more chances of
it's like raffles and stuff.
There's more income than there's the outcome, and you know.
But the fucked up thing is, it's how Lotto started, at least in America anyway.
Yeah.
They were trying to figure out how to tax poor people, and that's what they can. That's why it's over there. It's like state lotteries and stuff.
Yeah.
And then they said that this pool of money is, say for example, they collect $1 million, right? 800,000 of that is going to be going to the winner. That 200,000 is going to go pay for the local schools, pay for the roads or whatever.
Yep.
And then eventually it got to the point where it's not paying for shit.
Yeah. They'll
say that it's going to hospitals, but you go into a hospital in America, bro, shit's privately owned. Unless you like have insurance, you can't go there. That shit's like a business on its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't need money from Lotto.
I'm sorry, this used to be a really good, entertaining podcast.
Yeah.
There used to be a lot of jokes in this podcast.
It used to be fun.
It used to be really fun.
Now let's talk about how they tax poor people.
At the same time, are you going to take care of your mom and dad?
Oh my god! How are we going to tax the less educated?
It's because
let's talk about that.
Oh man!
Can you pass me my phone, Dennis? Like this is a TikTok that I saw, and then someone sent to me. On the Cheatcoders Instagram, so letting people know out there that if you do have reels that you like or information about the Philippines that you like or interested in, and you can share it on the Cheatcoders podcast, the Instagram page, and we do look through it, and some of them we like, some of them we like, oh, we've seen this a million times, but this is one of them that I've seen. Let me just try and find it. It was basically because they were talking about, I think we were talking about something, and it's got to do with, we were talking about the names from Vietnam. Like how Nguyen came to be and all that stuff. Right. Then someone sent us a Instagram reel of how Filipinos, started off with the Spanish name and how that came about. You guys, do you guys know what the Spanish, what your name means in the Spanish side of things?
Bro, my name is not even my name's not even Spanish, so I have no idea where it comes from.
Your one's German.
What does it mean? Find the meaning of it while I try and find this.
I've tried looking and we don't know what
Garcia,
where it comes
what
from.
does that mean? I don't know. Didn't we talk about this?
Sexy cunt, I think, in the old Latin. It's Castilian.
It's based on
Spanish.
It's according to the Greek word.
This guy's go-to is always the Greeks.
Because it's like the Latin. Well, you got Latin to me.
The reason why is because when we were in a youth group, there was talks would always start with
Latin stuff?
There was Latin or Greek. Like the word metanoia was the word for what was it? Making a decision or something like that. And then that went on to forgiveness and that. And I remember reading it and thinking like, what the fuck does this have to do with what I'm talking about? Like what? Who gives a shit if it's metanoia?
Fucking metanoia.
Like who's the shit about the Latin word?
I was kind of hoping I'd never hear that shit again.
And that's why I brought it up, and I'd like to make fun of it.
Metanoia.
It's going to be the beginnings of my best man speech for my cousin. It's going to be the Webster's Dictionary defines love as.
This is the thing. Like whenever people have debuts, it's like the thing that we do all the time. There's always a speech, right? Or everybody's doing speeches and stuff.
Yep.
And then there's always the one person. It's not really good. Well, there's like stereotypes of the type of speeches that you'll hear at someone's debut, and it's always like, I met this person, but like they'll talk about like how they first met. It's like, it's not really that creative or whatever. And then the even less creative version of that is they just go. Yeah, Webster's Dictionary, like defines so and so as this, and like it might be a wedding speech. Like, oh, fuck, man.
It's such a
The next one would be like, love is kind.
It's a trope. It's a public speaking trope that they always use a quote or something at the beginning of the speech.
Love is patient.
Because you engage the audience that way in how you do it. I attended an awards ceremony last week, and one of the speakers he read out a Macbeth quote, and his whole is a really obscure one as well. But his whole premise of it was like, we went to school and we learned rote learning, but later on in life, it's not about rote learning. It's about the stuff that you kind of do when you're doing things.
Yeah.
But when we're all listening to him, the beginning of it, he's reading this Macbeth quote. We're all like, "What the fuck are you going on about, mate? Like, who gives a shit about Macbeth?"
No one gives a fuck about Macbeth. There was speaking of graduation, like I attended my sister's high school graduation years ago, right?
Hey, congrats! Years ago.
And then the person that, the Dux Award, it's kind of like the valedictorian, like our version.
Yep.
This person goes up on stage, starts, doing a speech and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same speech that the guy says in Coach Carter. The guy that eventually like left, and then he wanted to come back and he had to do like 1,000 push-ups or some shit. Yeah. And then they Samuel Jackson kept on asking him, was like,
"What's your greatest fear?" Yeah,
that guy. And then he was like, that whole speech about what his fear is or whatever, that was a speech that he gave up there. And I was thinking like, fucking hell, man, this is apparently the smartest dude of this year, and he's just plagiarizing shit.
Well,
what message does that say to the rest of these people?
We're talking about, hang on. I'm talking about the meanings of the names. I just looked up what Garcia means. In Spanish, baby names, the meaning of the name Garcia is
sexy.
Brave in battle.
Oh,
brave in battle. So that's the Spanish baby name. There's another meaning here, Teutonic. I don't know what that means, but in Teutonic, the baby name, the meaning of Garcia is spear strength.
Spear strength.
I'm good at thrusting.
I found also a definition here. The meaning of Garcia is girls always take his jumper.
Oh man, they look cute in it though. Fuck.
Oh, man.
Not worth it. Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Man.
All right, so I found the TikTok.
Talk about Filipino last names. Many of the surnames Filipinos have today, my own included, can be traced back to this document, the Claveria Decree. This colonial law contained a list of 61,000 surnames, mostly Hispanic ones, that every Filipino family would have to adopt under Spanish rule. This was so the colonial government could keep track of people for tax, census, and religious purposes. This document would define the names of Filipinos for generations, while at the same time leave behind many of the country's diverse indigenous surnames.
It took the Spaniards, centuries even to figure out how they can systematize the census and the tax register. The Claveria Decree would now be the basis from which the eldest member of the family can choose what is the surname for their clan. And so many Filipinos chose religious surnames. De la Cruz from the cross, De Jesus from Jesus. Even my own ancestors chose the name Angeles, which means angels. What was my ancestors' indigenous names? I really wouldn't know.
That's
Filipino
crazy.
names have centuries of history and culture written into them. Hopefully that gives you some insight into this quirky but unique part of
so I'm asking him about our last name, our surname. He was like, I don't know. Maybe somebody saw it in the newspaper and they thought that would be a great name.
Yeah,
because that would make sense.
Just imagine being at that time where they're like, all right, guys, we don't want to figure out how to say our names or anything or whatever. We want to figure out, you're going to get a new name. Here's a list of names to choose for you as your last name. And then the eldest person, all right, or the leader of the group, choose the last name. And there's like,
I want to go back to Phil's and find out who trace it back. I want to go back and trace back where that name came from, and then
like
for somebody.
Your trace isn't going to be that far because it doesn't spring back to when the Spaniards were there. Like, I'm pretty sure your last name probably would have come in the last, like, say, 100, 200 years or something. So your lineage of finding that name, probably a lot easier than a lot of Filipinos, man.
I still want to figure it out, because we tried to find out online, and I think my auntie did a whole family tree and try to trace it all back. But I think there's a lot of history there.
It always just comes back to accountants,
accountants and podcasters.
Yeah.
So the
and
surname,
Filipino foods.
The surname Flores has existed in Spain since the 12th century. But a common origin has not been found. It is believed to most likely derive from this From the given name Flora, which means flower.
Flower, yeah.
From
Flower.
Maybe you
Latin
got florists in your ancestry.
Like I could imagine the person who chose the names like, oh, I like flowers, so we're going to choose Flores. And now it's gone down to my name, and I just find it interesting. Like, and here we go. Famous people. This is the interesting part. Famous people with the surname Flores. There's Pedro Flores, the inventor of the yo-yo. Hey. We have.
He pointed at A. Oh, Pedro. Yeah.
No, Peds.
Uncle Peds.
Yeah, Peds.
The guy from The Last of Us, yeah.
We have Juan Jose Flores, first president of Ecuador. Hey, shout out to Juan. You are the only one. And we also have I'm trying to find an interesting one. We did find one. It was the president of Ecuador. And we have Salvador.
He's Filipino too.
Salvador Flores.
We got Filipinos everywhere, bro.
A recruiter of volunteers in the support of the Texas Revolution.
Hey.
So that was the interesting part of my last name. So and apparently it's the 55th most popular surname in the United States.
Like I want to go back, if I could travel back in time to the moment where they made the decision in my family lineage for them to say, I want that last name, and just find out why. That's the only reason. That's the only thing.
Imagine if it's like, it's not even that far back. Like it's Tito.
All right, here we go. So I typed in, where does the last name Valix come from? And then it says Valix occurs more in the Philippines more than any other country or territory.
Oh, duh.
It can appear as a variant. The surname is the here we go. The surname is the 1,055,483rd most common last name worldwide.
I mean, you're
Held
going worldwide,
by
bro.
around 1 in 30 million people. I think it was rounded off, 31 million people. The last name occurs predominantly in Asia, where 93% of Valix are found.
93% of accountants. Bro.
And let's find out the Philippines. It occurs in Australia, where 3% are found. Hey,
That's you, bro.
And Russia, where 1% are found.
Don's one of the percents.
Maybe it's a Russian name. Maybe.
This is why he loves Tetris.
And we don't know about it because they won't tell us.
Say nothing.
And then there is nothing else around this name.
Honestly, man, there's like I think somebody made a joke before that it's a mispronunciation of something, like Balix is maybe.
Valix buying box, bro. Oh man, could you imagine somebody miswrote or mispronounced your shit?
Oh man. Well, let's change it up. Let's put a V and an X in there.
Alexa?
It's such a flex, bro.
Flex. But yeah, I don't know. I really want to go back to the Philippines and try to figure it out. Just it would be really, really cool just to find some record of them saying,
bro, that's a show in itself, bro.
Yeah.
Like there's not much information on the lineage of Valix. Bro, look it up, man.
I'd watch that YouTube episode
during my lunch break on a Sunday.
Yeah. My smoko.
Yeah, nice.
Pangasinan is where that name comes from, yeah?
Yeah, Pangasinan. I remember when that Filipino foods thing went viral.
I'm pretty sure it's Tito Jess that chose it.
All of it might have been.
It's just Tito Jess.
Because my grandfather had that name. It was my grandfather's name.
He chose it for Tito grandfather.
But yeah, I got messages on Facebook and on social media, and everyone's like, "Hey, I'm your cousin from
Russia,
from Pangasinan and whatever." Like,
I'm Vladimir Valix.
Like, I don't Vladimir.
Let's play some Tetris.
Comes up in the car. Bosses. Dum, 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 dum,
He's on the tinkling.
The stick gets smaller and bigger.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the Tetris block.
And then when you make one line, it's like this.
Oh gosh.
Oh man.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh man.
Goodness. It would be nice. I figured like the whole, like my grandparents from my dad's side, like my grandfather from my dad's side, like his parents, I got to meet them because I remember when, like I'm one of those like, you know when your parents like have kids and they're not as old, so you still have a chance to meet your great grandparents. You know what I mean? So like people are having kids like much younger.
Yep.
So I met that generation, and I think one of them, like they didn't speak the Tagalog at all. They just only spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
So I guess they were from that era. You know what I mean? So like they'll tell the lady, like the yaya, like, you know, oh, can you get me some water and stuff? And she'll say something like agua, like
Agua.
just the way that they would ask for shit.
Yeah.
Like the yaya knew what they were saying, but I wouldn't have known.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure like my family's not Spanish. It's just, you know, we took that name from someone. Like I've got an ancestor that just thought, oh, that sounds pretty dope.
Yeah.
And then just ran with it.
I love it because like imagine like another country besides Spain took over Philippines and it was like imagine we had Russian names, bro. Well, he has
Kim.
But like, and then
Kim
like,
Jong Garcia.
I mean, some people do have like Korean names.
Yeah.
Not that,
Garcia Jong Un. Oh, bro, that sounds so sick, bro.
Kim Don Un,
Kim
Kim
Don.
Don doing stuff.
Oh, man. Kim Don Nguyen. It's just all over the shop now.
Kim Don doing stuff.
I think that's what they were saying with Kathy, right? She mentioned that
they did the same. The French did the same.
the French was doing
That's why there's so many Nguyen's. That's why there's so many fans. There's so many like.
but they didn't get the French last names though, really.
No,
What's the French last name?
But like,
and
I'm trying to think of what the French last name is.
Nguyen.
Gerard Depardieu. Depardieu.
But like they probably didn't choose the French names because the Vietnamese probably can't pronounce it.
yeah,
Just like the Spanish couldn't pronounce any Tagalog names, like Filipino.
they stuck
names.
with not an emperor, it's like one of their leaders or something, right? That was the name.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just gonna give you that name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, the lineage of the Spanish name now is kind of like it's nearly over now in a way of like because Filipino women are going to the white man.
what the fuck? I was figured like it's like
You know how many times I've like seen a name on paper or an email, and then I turn up and they turn up being Filipino. I was like, oh shit! I didn't know Veronica Smith was Filipino.
I know Don Alex was Filipino.
It's like even with like Asians as well in general. Like, oh shit, I didn't know. Because like you see on paper, it's like what you call it. It's
I'll
like
tell you.
Francesca Williams or something like that. I'm just making up names.
I
I
can tell you now though, like, because when people see my resume, they don't think that I'm Asian. Because my name does not sound Asian at all. And when I was emceeing for a friend's wedding, one of the aunties came up to me, and I didn't know how to take it, but she was just like, I thought you weren't Filipino, like saying it to me, like to my face, and I wasn't sure if she was trying to compliment me or like something. She was like, I thought you were like white or something to me, and I'm like,
just because of their name.
I'm like, oh,
she felt shortchanged. Hang on.
You know who the most professional MCs are? The white people.
and then I'm like,
Oh, Don Alex, professional MC. They full have an argument about it. It's like, white people are better than the Filipinos in MCing. You wait for the wedding, and then
Don
the wedding
Alex.
comes up. It's a
Yeah.
oh man, I didn't know what to say. I was just like, okay, thank you.
Bro, it happens all the time now. Like I just see a name on paper and then I meet them. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's that thing we brought it up in the last episode. Like when you think of the Miss Universe and stuff, the pageants and that. I can't remember the last time a Filipino woman won with a Filipino name. You know what I mean? It's always German for some reason.
Yeah.
Germans.
Something that's hard to pronounce.
Wurzbach.
Yeah.
And then like in the future, my son's name is Seth Flores. And when they come, like I don't know, in the future he'll be looking more Indian.
Indians are gonna be like,
Filipino.
These Filipinos are taking our names, bro. All these Indian women's going out with Filipino men.
I started that trend, bro. Trendsetter, this one.
Trendsetter, you're pioneer, mate. Trailblazer.
Because like nowadays the name is no longer, because like, back in the day, probably like when we were like younger and stuff, like people do judge names like, okay, this sounds Asians, this sounds this. You still have that now, but there's a bit of a.
It still happens.
A bit of a little mixture of the things, because like one name doesn't really match his nationality.
I know for a fact that it still happens in the Philippines here and there, like in small towns and stuff, because the name holds weight in the town. A friend of mine, her family is like the doctors, or like they're wealthy in their town.
Yeah.
So when she when her husband went over there to visit, they were treated like freaking kings, because they wouldn't say his last name, they would say her last name. Like, oh, it's me.
Oh, that sucks.
It's like a code word or something like that.
Yeah. They say her last name, like, oh, cool, you're so and so's daughter. Yeah, come through.
Yeah.
That was the thing, right?
It's an Asian thing, right? That was in Crazy Rich Asians, isn't it? Like a family's not last name holds a lot of weight.
Yeah.
In terms of status.
Well, the industry built I guess that when people flex or whatever, they use their name to flex and shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Crazy Rich Asians, the bit where Ronnie Chang was trying to figure out who this chick was. He goes, oh, what's your last name, Chu? From the textiles company, Chu? From Taiwan, Chu? Like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like there's another thing, again, like this is for our Indian listeners. What up, Shiv? It's like this little one. Hello, Shiv. She doesn't even listen to the podcast. In India, on the west part of India, it's Gujarati, like that whole area.
Yep.
The name Patel comes from that place, and it's like academics, like that name
also,
is doctors, CEOs, and shit.
They're also hoteliers. In Patel's, the hoteliers.
Yeah, see? So there's like certain industries just well known with certain surnames and stuff.
That's why that's kind of like how like Singh came about. I think like Singh came about because I think it's a religion thing. Like everyone's going to be named Singh, and we're going to use it as a way of empowering each other type of thing.
Yeah,
like if one of us make it, then we all make it type of thing. Like
none of them were actually singers, but.
How did Bruno and Mars get Mars?
Because Snickers was taken already.
Which Filipino? That wasn't on the list from the document.
And Snickers sounds too close to a slur.
Yeah, Bruno Snickers. Whoa, said what?
Bruno de la Cruz. That kind of makes sense when you mentioned that a lot of Filipinos, because again, religion was like a big thing, especially when the Spanish they introduced that stuff. So they chose a lot of biblical stuff. Because I think De La Cruz is the most common Filipino last name, right?
Of the cross.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It means of the cross, man. De La Cruz.
De la Peña.
Yeah.
Of the Pines. I really
of the Peña.
Yeah, and the Garcia things
I'm trying to think
throw
what
off.
Peña
I don't
means.
know what, like the pine. I'm guessing.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, I'm gonna have a look.
Yeah, you
Look
can
at
have
the
the-
phones. We got Black Mirrors in our hands, bro. Figure this out, bro.
What's
I know
that?
with Garcia, we have a family crest. But I
Yeah?
think that's because of the whole Spanish thing. Maybe it is a warrior, like a soldier type shit. Because
Brave in battle. Christian brave in battle.
apparently spears.
Spear strength.
This is kind of fucked. I'm really hoping my dad doesn't see this shit. But I'm thinking now like an ancestor.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, "This guy fucks." What name can? Oh yeah, spears. Yeah, thrust. Yeah, we'll go with that one. I'll put my name down for a Garcia. Thanks. Everyone else.
My godson. Well, his mom chose Sebastian as his confirmation name.
Yeah.
And it means like he's the patron saint of warriors or something like that. And like my godson, he's not. He doesn't want to fight and doesn't want to do any of that stuff.
Yeah,
but like,
he's a pacifist.
He's got a warrior name now.
Man, it'd be
So
cool
far,
if
it's
we,
saying De La Peña's off the rock or off the cliff or something like that.
Oh shit,
Of the Rock.
Jamie, huh?
Jamie.
She's off the hook, bro.
Jamie the Rock.
Off the hook.
Jamie the Rock.
The surnames, because again, you can trace it back to certain, not even villages, like provinces.
Yeah.
Like my surname, it's more predominant in Candelaria and Quezon.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, man, maybe there was like an old school influencer back in the day that came back to the town and go, hey man, I chose Garcia, and everyone else in the town is like, hey, you know what this popular dude chose, I want to fucking choose that name too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe.
I know Valix is predominantly in Pangasinan.
Yeah.
Where my dad's from.
Someone chose that.
Where my dad's from. There's a massive community there.
But then because there's not a lot of them, so we're like, oh, this guy chose Valix. That's not on the Bible. Let's choose something else.
Let's choose the name. Let's choose the name that he. Let's not choose the name that he chose.
I feel like from my family, like my dad's pretty contrarian with stuff. Like he doesn't like to go with the flow with most mainstream things.
Yeah.
And if that was his, like, the same as my grandfather and my grandfather before that, etc., etc.
The family of his hipsters.
They'd just be like, choose a thing from the Bible. Nah, let's make something up. Let's throw some words at the wall. Yeah, Valix. Yeah, that'll be one. Yeah, there you go.
V, no one can even pronounce that over here.
How do you say this word B? How do you B? B?
Oh man.
And then this one, what's the cross?
It'll come back to me. Balex.
Yeah, no matter where you go in the world, you always Balix back to Pangasinan.
Shit.
I'm coming, Balex.
Valix.
The Pilipinas.
If any of my extended cousins listen to this, sorry.
Hey man, at least you don't have to worry about, being related to who you date.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly who you're related to.
Because if you find another Valix, stay away from them. or a small niche of people.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Is that one? That's one of the things I kind of. It's not a worry, but I noticed this in me. I see. I know people on socials like Instagram, and they look cute as fuck, man. And I realize they're